Welcome to F.O.S.T. I'm your host, Aaron Flowers. I hope you're having a wonderful evening this evening. A lot to get into. This is F.O.S.T. Splash. For those that haven't watched F.O.S.T. and this is your first time on F.O.S.T., F.O.S.T. stands for Fans Only Sports Talk. We are fans talking about the sport we love. This topic is basically NFL. We've been covering the NFL for the last 4 to 5 years, I want to say, here on Fans Only Sports Talk. Any music, highlights, or videos that you see, we do not have the copyrights to. So please don't try to sue us. There may be times you hear profane languages. I want to say to the parents, please govern your children accordingly. Let's get into it. A lot been going on in the NFL this past week 4. As you can see, my Eagles are 4-0. There's only 2 undefeated teams, which is the Philadelphia Eagles and the Buffalo Bills, which seems like the Bills are cruising through these wins, except they struggled with the Saints this week, but they still got the W, and that's all that counts. And on that team. Now, like I said, I'm going to get into it. There's a lot to cover. Actually, if you hold on for a second, here we go. I just needed my device so I can pull up the stuff we need to cover for today and what we see in the NFL. So, talking about teams that are undefeated but still have its woes. Philadelphia started off hot. The Eagles started off hot against the Buccaneers, which seems like the Buccaneers always have, or Todd Bowles has Philadelphia's number when it comes to playing them. Jalen Hurts is 1 of 4 games playing them now. He's 2 of 5 playing against the Bucs. Because of the explosive offense that happened in the first half. Then we see Jalen Hurts in the second half have no yardage thrown. It just seemed like they forgot to play football. A lot of force feeding to A.J. Brown, and a lot of overthrows for A.J. Brown, too, that I saw in that game. Just trying to get him involved in the offense. I don't know what the Bucs was doing to shut AJ down, but what I did see was a lot of overthrows by the quarterback, which is Jalen Hurts. Throws was just sailing out of bounds where he didn't have a chance to get the 50-50 ball, which that is AJ Brown's go-to, is the 50-50 ball. Then after the game, there was an issue with a tweet that AJ Brown, basically used scripture to express how he felt. Now, hope y'all can see this. Yes, it's coming up right now. So this is what AJ Brown tweeted. All right. Mark 11. If you're not welcome, not listened to, quietly withdraw, don't make a scene, shrug your shoulders, and be on your way. So that is what you call I don't know where is this the NIV version of that scripture, but the basic scripture of Mark 11 is, let me see, I can share that with you. basically saying the same thing, but in a different way. Mark 11:6 and 11 says, a biblical instruction given by Jesus to his disciples, commanding them to shake off the dust of their from their feet as a testimony against any place that does not welcome them or listen to their message when they depart. This action symbolizes complete separation from the symbolic um, recite, reunion of that place. So what I'm looking at here is this. All right. What I'm looking at this is, and how a lot of people are taking this in in their respective criticism. Um, that AJ Brown no longer wants to be part of the Philadelphia Eagles. He's been hearing this, he wants out or whatever, but he's not saying that he wants out. Okay. Did we see some great things from AJ Brown? Yes, we did see some great things from AJ Brown. We did see some um, some movement, some catches in the Rams game. He brought the Rams back 109 yards. You know, he's doing his thing. Is he a formidable wide receiver in the league? Yes, he is, when used the way that he needs to be used. Now, I've been hearing all this stuff from media, and this is one thing I hate about um, putting stuff out there. Even if you're frustrated, you're not being listened to. This is a way of getting the attention of other teams and other media to speak for him. That's 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 all this angle is. I this is I'm looking at it as AJ Brown's perspective is this. I have talked to you. I have explained my grievance. I am a captain on the team. It seems like I'm not being heard, and it seems like y'all just doing whatever the hell y'all want to do, and y'all just leaving me out of these games. Now, Devontae Smith could say the same thing, but Devontae Smith is not the number one wide receiver there. AJ Brown is. My thoughts is he's using his platform for us to talk about him. He's using his platform because his voice is not being heard in the locker room. He's using his platform so that we can change the minds of the coaches. He's using his platform to indulge in the mob. So the mob and the masses can come at Philadelphia, and the media can come at the coaching, Jalen Hurts, and fill up the players to get him more involved. We've seen this before. We've seen this script before. We've seen this thing play out where, last year I think it was, they got in the stalemate, and then it wasn't passing the ball because they were feeding the ball to Saquon Barkley. They was running that ball instead of passing the ball. I have several grievances about Philadelphia's offense when it comes to not using these wide receivers. And I think I said this on F.O.S.T. A while back. They always put AJ Brown on X, meaning that they always putting him on a go route. They always putting him on the slant route. They're not moving him in motion where there are mismatches where he can take advantage of a linebacker, or a safety. You know, some of the shovel passes that they gave Dallas Goddard, they probably could have gave to AJ Brown. You know what I'm saying? Just to pad his touchdown stats. And I know Dallas Goddard is working for a contract also. And so in this understanding how football works, and I was listening to Chad Ochocinco, and he made a great point. When you go to the bargaining table, they look at stats. When you try to get a raise or go somewhere else or whatever they may do with you, they look at stats. And AJ Brown right now, stats does not look good at all. The first year that he got there, I think he had over 1,000. Him and Devontae Smith had 1,000 yards in passing. We don't even see that anymore. We don't even see the explosive down plays, fields down, explosive downfield play with AJ Brown. It's just here and there. It's really spotty. It's really nothing created for the wide receivers, and this is a problem. And Patullo and Sirianni has the job to fix it. They have the resources to fix this. This can be fixed, and getting those guys involved, because here's the thing: if you don't practice it now, then when the playoffs do come, it's going to be like, oh, here you go again, struggling in with the offense. I didn't see any comeback back routes from A.J. Brown. I didn't see Jalen Hurts putting the ball accurately near him where he can get the 50-50 ball. I didn't even see Jalen in the second half. When he did target A.J. Brown, he was blanketed, threw the ball behind him. It's a lot of mistakes that I seen in that game, and I'm not saying Jalen is all the fault of what's going on, but in the same token, I need my quarterback to deliver the ball where the wide receiver can get it. Now, I don't know if that run that Jalen Hurts had in the first half when he ran the ball all the way down, he tried to lower his shoulder and he got hit. He got smacked really hard. I don't know if that affected his game or what, but we've seen a different Jalen Hurts. We've seen a different offense. I think we only seen Devontae Smith with 2 catches. I think we only seen AJ Brown with 1 or 2 catches in the first half of that game. And I know others was getting involved in the passing game, and the defense was playing out of their mind. My thoughts is, I don't know if the heat got to them. It's a series of things that could have happened that they're not going to tell you. I know the heat probably did play a factor. But in the same sense, when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles and you see all these weapons that they have on their team, you scratch your head, because due to the fact that why aren't they utilizing these weapons? I see a lot. I see motion, but I don't see like giving AJ Brown time right off the motion. Meaning, when he's in motion, just run him straight on out into the route. And so if he's running straight on out in the route, that gives him more momentum against whatever linebacker or whatever seam route that you want to throw against a linebacker or what you call it, safety. If the safety comes down, you got AJ Brown on a safety. I'm taking AJ Brown all day long. If I see AJ Brown run off of that motion and come and cut over in front of a linebacker, I'm giving them the ball all day long. It's not just, okay, I'm gonna put him in motion, and have him stop, and then let him get open. No, I mean, y'all look at how Kyle Shanahan uses his offensive players. You see how other teams, Sean McVay uses his offensive players. They give them mismatch opportunities and make something happen. And I just don't see that with Philadelphia. I don't know if they don't have the wisdom to do it, or they just feel as though the talent is so good that they should be able to get open anytime they want. My thing is, if they're playing AJ Brown with two high safeties, and then they got other people underneath him trying to make sure that he doesn't get the ball, this is an issue in which a lot of people, a lot of people, a lot of people feel as though that it can be fixed. When you look at Amon-Ra St. Brown and those guys over there in Detroit, they are using their wide receivers to the best of their ability and to their potential. And so this is a catch-22 for me, because due to the fact that I do not like when you have the media being involved in the locker room's turmoil, because now everybody has an idea, everybody has an opinion, everybody has to express, like I'm doing, what they think. And in the other hand, you have to say, well, damn, what made him resort to this again? Now, granted, I seen AJ Brown, you know, get defended on some of those passes, and you know, he wasn't open. He just wasn't open. And if you've seen his attitude and body language when those balls sailed, when he didn't catch the ball, it was like he was depleted. It was like he's saying to himself, "What in the hell am I doing here?" And so to pull out this scripture, talk about him not being heard, that means he has been speaking to the locker room, the coaches, telling them that, hey, look, I need the ball, or hey, I'm trying to be something great. I want to, and he already said that this year he want to prove that he is one of those not corners, wide receivers that can be great. You know, he wants to put up numbers. He wants to put up touchdowns. He wants to contribute to this team in so much of a way that, look, you will be talking about Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith for the next 10, 15 years, hopefully. You know, he wants to stay here in Philly, but if he's not getting what he needs in Philly, I hate to say this, it's going to damage, you know, him, and he's going to go somewhere else. Um, the the plus side of this is Philly is still winning, but it's not that they're just winning, they're barely winning, and AJ Brown doesn't understand that, and neither does the fans. And so he's using social media to be his spokesman, which I get it. If you're not going to listen to me, hopefully you listen to to the the fans and all these other broadcasters and media, you know, people that's out there. But like I said, I hate I hate to hear that. Oh, he's a prima donna, and he's this and he's that. No, the man just want to be utilized in the offense that he came, you know, to work in. He didn't come here to just watch us barely win. He won a Super Bowl once, and then he said, you know what, winning the Super Bowl is good, but I want to get back out there on the field. I want to go on to the next level. I want to be a wide receiver that people will hear about for the next decade or more. Like they talk about the Jerry Rice, the Terrell Owens, and all those other guys. Look, He want to be one of those guys that there can be an argument about who is the best wide receiver during that time. And he's like, in his mind, he don't think Philadelphia is giving him that opportunity to be that. Now, we all say the only thing that counts is winning. Yes, that's true. But when it comes to negotiating that money in that contract, guess what? All they're looking for is stats and what you have done to get a big contract. All right. Moving on from the A.J. Brown situation. Somebody pulled up or sent me this about Jay Cutler booked into Tennessee jail. I don't know the specifics, but I'll read it out to you. Former NFL quarterback Jay Cutler was booked into Williamson County Jail on Monday morning to serve a 4-day sentence following his guilty plea to a misdemeanor DUI count in August. And I guess everybody is, except for me, that knew about this incident that happened in August. Hope Jay Cutler can get himself together. Nothing bad that I got to say about this. We all make mistakes. We all do things that is uncharacteristic of who we are. Sometimes we do things to get ourselves in trouble. Um, Hopefully he can bounce back, get himself together, and they can sweep this under the rug. Um, Hope that he can, like I said, sweep this under the rug, but also understand the mistake that he's made and do better. That's all we can do, is to do better. All right. I'm going through this because this is a lot of stuff to go through. Um, Titans rookie Cam Ward is last in almost every significant statistical category among all QBs that have played 4 games this season. There's a video out there saying Cam Ward said that we suck. Now, I was talking about this with a friend of mine, and it was, we found it funny, but this man is expressing how he feels. He's like, um, basically, he said we're ass. Um, Bottom line, he's like, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. We're ass. Um, and that's the frustration. And I get it. Cam, you was drafted first in the first round. Um, the team that you went to didn't really build around you. They really don't have an offensive line. Um, it's gonna be rough, bro. It's just gonna be real rough, and this is the growing pains and processing all of it. Let's see. Keeping okay. Um, let's see if I could pull this up of his interview. Just bear with me for a second, because I get it, bro. I mean, you were looking to make a change for that team. So, like I said, I get it, bro. I really get it. All right, let's see if I can pull this video up. And I don't have any sound. Hold on, I messed up. Let me go back.
Pass.
What has this weekend been like for you coming back close to home?
Just trying to get a football win, honestly. That's it.
I didn't think you played person.
Pass.
Anything in particular that went wrong for you?
Getting stuck past the 50. Interception. Incompletion. Penalties. Not helping the defense out. Just not good enough to win.
Obviously, a lot of family here. When things don't go well like this, does that kind of ruin the whole homecoming aspect?
No, it don't ruin nothing for me. They see me a lot in the off season, so they're just trying to come show their support, and really just trying to be there for me. But just trying to get the ball rolling.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about
And
it.
so
Meet
when
Base
you look at
44.
this, and you go and say, well, what in the world is going on? What in the world is going on? That's what you're asking. What is the world? Look at his posture. Look at the way that the questions that the media was giving him was basically one person that was talking to him, and basically he's not pointing names. He's just saying, "Look, I didn't play well. We all didn't play well. We're just struggling." And so this is where the coaches have to coach. This is where the coaches have to implement something to get your star quarterback to a point where he is comfortable with the offense and get the offense to a point where they can trust him to deliver the ball. And like he's probably put the ball in harm's way because due to the fact that he's always fighting back to try to win, or he's putting trust in his wide receivers that's running the route to adjust to catch these balls. So, I mean, growing pains for the young man, but I believe that Cam Ward will bounce back next year. It's better to go through the growing pains right now than to just come out and, be a star, I guess, and go through a sophomore slump like everybody else has done with like Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud. Um, but I feel for him. I really do. You can see the frustration on his face. You can see that he wants to win, but he seems like he doesn't have the tools to do those things. And if you don't have the tools to help you out, you're like an island on an island by yourself, trying to figure things out. And if the coaches can't figure it out, how do you think the players will be able to figure it out? And so the players is depending on the coaches to coach this thing up, to make this, to make this look good, to turn them around. And when you look at what's going on and what's transpired, you're going, wow. As a teammate, as a player, you're going, how do I get out of this rut? How do we change this stuff around? What do I do to change this stuff around? And as a player and a young player, a rookie player, you really don't know. And so that's where the coaching come in, where the coaches have to coach these players not only physically but mentally to get them to a point where they can get that one win. My advice to this young brother is to hold on, be strong. This is a test, but hold on. You know, keep trying to persevere. Don't give up. You come too far right now. You came too far, brother. So keep on going. Keep on pushing. Don't hold your head down. This is just a learning experience that you have to go through. Um, and I know it's going to be rough, but also keep your composure while you're doing it. I know that feelings do get involved, and we see things and we go, dang, man, how much more can I take of this buttery bull? You know, just persevere, bro, and do the best that you can with what you got. A lot of people don't make it to the NFL. I know you came in and you want to make a difference right away. Talking about making it in the NFL, I want to talk about my boy right here that got injured, Tyreek Hill. Oh, wow. Hill's injury occurred in the end of a 10-yard completion from Tua Tagovailoa to the veteran receiver. Hill was tackled by Jets defender while going out of bounds, and his leg was twisted in the process. Um, I believe he underwent surgery today. I'm not going to say that on any article. He did undergo surgery today. Tough call for them, for the Miami Dolphins. Seem like they just can't catch a break. Just seem like they just can't catch a break. At least they won the game, but they also lost their top receiver, and I believe that made the difference in the game. It wouldn't have been that close just to see Waddle and Waller actually score twice, and then you see the Jets were trying to come back. Um, this is why I say the NFL stands for not for long. You don't know how long you're going to be in the NFL playing healthy, because due to the fact that there's so much that can happen in a blink of an eye, you know, and you condition, you lift weights, and you you put your body through rigorous training just so it can maintain and sustain these hits that you're taking on a weekly basis. You ice yourself down. You do ice bath, warm bath. You you constantly in the training room, listening to the trainers. You're doing everything that you can to make your mind, body, and soul ready to play football. And it is grueling. 17, 18 weeks of football is grueling. God forbid if it's 20, if they go up to 20, like I said, they would have to, I would increase the roster from a 53-man roster because of these injuries to maybe 55 to 56-man roster, maybe to a 60-man roster, 7 more people, because due to the fact that the ending you have people that's on your practice squad and things that you can bring up. But that's just me venting. All right. We already talked about the A.J. Brown situation. First take and Cam Newton, and then you heard your boy from Dallas trying to add fuel to the fire. Michael Irving, go on his little rant about A.J. Brown and how they saying that Dak Prescott is better than Jalen Hurts or whatever. Right now, I don't have time to entertain the buttery bull because due to the fact that this is one individual that is not being heard. Let's see it for what it is. He wants to contribute. He's not contributing or not getting the chance to contribute. The offense is not circled around A.J. Brown. It's circled around Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, and they try to get those two guys running before they can get the receivers going. And Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley is on the same page of just winning. They just want to win. They don't care how they win. They just want to win. And they don't care about stats or how it's going to look. They just want to win. So, and Jalen has been one of those people. His numbers never looked like, ooh, his jaw dropping. He threw for 3,000 or 4,000, 5,000 yards. No, he never did that. Never. Didn't do it. And you won't. And I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying the coaches don't trust him enough to do it on a consistent basis. I'm gonna leave it like that. Well, F.O.S.T. on, let me see, that Snickers was satisfying. On Saturday, we talked about what team, which one of these teams needed to win the most between the Chiefs and the Ravens. And I said, the Chiefs need this win more than the Ravens. And why I said that is because due to the fact that that locker room needs that uplift. Like knowing that Xavier Worthy was back. They utilized him. They wound up winning against the Ravens. And Lamar can go on a 10-game winning streak. I'm just be honest. Lamar and that Ravens team can go on a 10-game winning streak in the blink of an eye. They can. With all the weapons they have and and the resources that they have, I don't think that Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens is in trouble because they lost this game. They are still a force to be reckoned with. Patrick Mahomes needed to win this game. And they did. They did. And so what we did get a glimpse of in this game was that when Patrick Mahomes have all his weapons, there's going to be a different Kansas City team. That's all I'm going to say. A different Kansas City team. And they say, I know what you're saying. It's like, Aaron, what are you drinking? This orange juice. I know the red cup will make you think that I'm drinking something different, but that's just orange juice. And no, I'm not high. Kansas City right now is hurt, but once they get, no, not even hurt. Rice did some stuff that caused him to get suspended for 6 weeks, but hey, it is what it is. Hopefully, prayerfully, when y'all hear my voice again and we're in week 11, you'll say, "Oh, dang, Aaron was right." Kansas City right now can just go on a winning streak. They can. Well, it's good to see Gilly and Cam Newton conversating. They wasn't face to face, but Wally saw Cam Newton, had the phone, and he FaceTime Cam, and they were talking, going back and forth. I didn't hear all the stuff, but I just love hearing entertainment at its best. Gilly to me is from Philly. And he's passionate about the Philadelphia Eagles. You can't deny his passion. Cam is a player, sports commentator, and who does an excellent job in expressing his opinions about certain situations. I like to hear some of his takes on things because due to the fact that he comes from a player and an analyst kind of way, I think he's being groomed by Stephen A. Smith to even know where his voice levels need to go high, low, or whatever, and what topics to really attack and give some good substance to what he believes in. So Cam is doing the thing right now, and just to see entertainment like that when it comes to a rapper and a sports star getting together, talking football, talking crap. That's just beautiful to me. Without violence, you know, and uh, I really look forward to see them going back and forth once again. All right, we talked about the Tyreek Hill incident. We talked about the AJ Brown incident. All right, let's talk about the Eagles once again. Had a video come up here, and someone posted on Facebook, Buck Stadium's all green. Philadelphia has took over the Buck Stadium, and you heard a lot of Fly Eagle Fly songs, and one of the guys, or I guess he's a ticket holder, he's like, stop selling your tickets to these Eagles fans. Eagles fans everywhere, thank you for your support. I mean, whoa, we go everywhere. I mean, even to Brazil. And to see that y'all guys showed up in Florida, that we might be the number one fan base in the NFL. A little delusional. I'm not delusional. Delusional goes to the Dallas Cowboys because they always say they're going to Super Bowl every year, which they do. Most Dallas Cowboy fans do go to the Super Bowl every year. Hold on for a second. Something happened. Oh, excuse me for just a second. Going through some technical difficulties. Just bear with me for a second. All right, thank you. Sorry about that. So, um, just want to say fly Eagles fly and keep on showing up and showing out. Now, Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers was in Dublin and they got the win. And I picked the Steelers to actually win this game against the Green Bay, not the Green Bay Packers, but the Vikings. Carson Wentz actually did a pretty good job. Let me pull up that game because I think Carson Wentz actually threw for 300 and something yards. If that's the case, I mean, that's pretty good for Carson Wentz. Let's see. Steelers and Vikings. Steelers and Vikings game. I'm trying to get it up. Let me see. Score. Let's see. Boom. Go down here. Earth. There we go. Sound like Dak Prescott. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Carson Wentz was 30 of 46, 350 yards, 2 TDs, and 2 INTs. Wow. 350. The man threw for 350 yards, 2 TDs, 2 INTs. Where Aaron Rodgers was 18 of 22 for 200 yards, 1 touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell, 19 carries for 99 yards, just missed it by 1 yard and 2 touchdowns. DK Metcalf, 5 receptions for 126 yards, 1 touchdown. Justin Jefferson, 10 receptions for 126 yards. Him and DK was going at it. Jordan Mason only carried the ball 16 carries for 57 yards. But Carson Wentz, kudos to Carson Wentz for balling for 350 yards. Wow. Didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming. But I did pick the Steelers to win, and something told me that Aaron Rodgers and them was going to pull that game out. Didn't see the game too early in the morning for me to be getting up to watch that Buttery Bull. But hey, check it out. They won. That's all that counts. All right. Let's go into Jackson Dart. Who would have thought Jackson Dart and the doggone Giants would have beaten the Chargers after the Chargers has been that team? Like, I didn't see this coming at all. Like, maybe they didn't know about Jackson Dart, and it was one of those surprises where you go and say, "Oh well, you know." Um, but Jackson Dart shocked the world. But I think against a good Chargers defense, um, let's see Jackson Dart's number. I don't think his numbers was all that good. And from what Kai was saying, that he wasn't too impressed. Oh, and he said that the defense stepped up more so than anything when it came to this game. Um, Looking at it now, Justin Herbert was 23 of 41, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 INTs. Jackson Dart was 13 of 20, 111 yards, 1 touchdown. Marion Hampton had 12 carries, 128 yards, 1 touchdown. And Cameron Scatterbull had 25 carries for 79 yards. I like this kid Scatterbull. Scatterboo was pretty good. Tough runner. Quentin Johnston from the Chargers, 8 receptions, 98 yards, 1 TD. Darius Slayton, 3 receptions for 44 yards. From what I understand, Dart was just looking to run the ball. He wasn't trying to pass the ball. He had some open receivers, but he trusted his legs more than he trusted his arm, which this is his first game. I can expect that from a rookie quarterback. He's not Jaden Daniels nor CJ Stroud. But we will see what goes on with Jackson Dart now since he's starting and he gave that offense a little life. It still doesn't correct the problems with the Giants and the offensive line. He's going to go against a team that actually is going to win because the Giants have no offensive line whatsoever. That's why Russ was running for his life, and that's why Dart will be running for his life again. Now, they go against the Saints. They may win that game against the Saints. I don't think the Saints have a win this year. But if the Saints were to get a win, this would probably be the prime opportunity to get that win against the Giants. You know, I look at it in this kind of sense. When you look at teams that are struggling, it's like blood is in the water. So all the sharks is circling and can't wait their turn to get at it because it's like dead man walking. Everybody circling around trying to get everything from the dead man. And so that's the way the NFL teams are working right now. Is they're playing, but they're looking for that blood in the water. So every team is going to attack. Either the Saints is going to attack the Giants, or the Giants is going to attack the Saints. It's going to be interesting in that game due to the fact that both of these teams look like they're in the rut. All right. Talking about ruts and talking about wins and losses and things of that nature, I haven't put them in for F.O.S.Ts to Charles, Erica, Wayne, myself, Kai, and Joe. I'll have all the wins and losses. I know that I was a lone wolf with some of these games. Or let me see. Yes, I was the lone wolf with the Jaguars, and the Jaguars wound up beating the Niners. Everybody picked the Niners. I picked the Jags. There was a couple that picked the Chiefs. And let's see. Everybody picked the Commanders. The Falcons won. Joe was the lone wolf with the Falcons, and he won that game. I wasn't the lone wolf with the Steelers. I think that Mr. Charles piggybacked with me and picked the Steelers also, and they won. There's a lot of games in here that I just didn't see coming. A lot of us picked the Chargers. When Trey, if you're listening, shout out to Trey. He was on board with the Giants beating the Chargers. He's the only one that said that the Giants was going to beat the Chargers, and look what happened. The Green Bay game, that to me was out of its mind, yo. Who in the world? Man, Michael Parsons was neutralized in that game. Um, Green Bay had so many chances to win this game, and they just didn't. I just don't understand it. Um, Back and forth, 80 points between both teams. 80 points was put out there for a tie. Go figures. If anybody called that out in Vegas that this was going to be a tie game, guess what? That person should be a millionaire because nobody didn't see that coming. All right. I want to thank y'all for watching F.O.S.T. I'm your host, Aaron Flowers. If you don't know, F.O.S.T. stands for Fans Only Sports Talk. We are fans talking about the sports we love, which is the NFL. You can also hear us on Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Music, Apple Play. We are on all those streamlines. You can hear us here on Facebook, and you can hear us on YouTube. And we will broadcast or type, not broadcast, but we will share our broadcast to X. And you can just type in Fans Only Sports Talk, and you can see our broadcast on X. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Stay tuned for Fans Only Sports Talk on Saturday at 6 p.m., where all my crew will be on, and we will be talking about what has transpired in week 4 and making our picks in week 5. Don't forget the game that we have on Thursday night football, which will be on Thursday night football will be on Prime. It's going to be the 49ers against the Rams, which I definitely think the Rams is going to win that game. I'm going to go ahead and say it now live on F.O.S.T. So come join us. And if you have any comments about football or anything that you want to, express, please hit us up in the comments. We'll gladly take your questions. Even if you want to come on Fans Only Sports Talk, hit me up and I'll let you get a spot in to explain or to give your opinion about your team. Thank you for watching. Hope to see y'all soon. Peace.